You know that feeling on payday? That specific rush when you wake up, grab your phone, and check your bank account? The direct deposit hit. Money's there. You can breathe again. Maybe you transfer some to savings, pay a bill that's been sitting there, order that thing you've been waiting to afford. For about 36 hours, you feel safe. You feel stable. You tell yourself, this is what security looks like. But here's what's actually happening. You're not experiencing security. You're experiencing temporary relief from financial anxiety. And the moment that money hits your account, the countdown begins again. 14 days until the next deposit. 14 days until you can breathe again. This cycle, this dependency on that recurring deposit, isn't a sign that the system is working. It's a sign that you're trapped in it. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you why the paycheck, the thing you've been told represents stability and success, is actually the most dangerous financial position you can be in. Because here's the truth most people never realize. The moment you can't survive without that next paycheck, you've lost all your power. This is the paycheck trap. Let me introduce you to Trevor. He's 38 years old, makes $92,000 a year working in corporate sales. Good job, solid income. He's got health insurance, 401k match, 2 weeks of paid vacation. On paper, Trevor has everything the system told him to get. He should feel secure. He doesn't. Every 2 weeks, $3,538 hits his account before taxes. After federal, state, FICA, it's $2,647. And here's where it gets interesting. Trevor isn't bad with money. He's not reckless, he doesn't have a gambling problem or a shopping addiction. He's just living a normal, middle-class American life. Mortgage, $1,850. Car payment, $520. Car insurance, $180. Health insurance premium, $320. Student loans, $340. Groceries, $600. Gas, $200. Utilities, $180. Phone and internet, $150. Subscriptions he actually uses, $85. Added up, that's $4,425 in monthly expenses. His take-home is $5,294 per month. So theoretically, he has $869 left over. He should be fine, right? But here's what most people miss. Life doesn't stay theoretical. His daughter needs braces, $4,200. His AC unit dies in July, $3,800. His dog gets sick, $1,600 at the emergency vet. Car needs new tires and brakes, $980. These aren't luxuries, these are Tuesday. So that $869 buffer, it evaporates every single month. And Trevor, like 78% of Americans, according to a 2023 CareerBuilder Survey, is living paycheck to paycheck, not because he's irresponsible, because the system is designed to consume every dollar he earns. Now, here's the thing most finance content won't tell you. The problem isn't that Trevor doesn't make enough money. The problem is that he's built a life that requires constant paychecks to function. He's not financially stable, he's financially dependent, and there's a massive difference. Financial stability means you can handle disruption. Financial dependence means disruption destroys you. Trevor has created a life where he needs that $3,538 to hit his account every 14 days, or his entire existence collapses. His mortgage defaults, his car gets repossessed, his credit implodes, his family loses their home. That's not security, that's vulnerability disguised as success, and it's exactly what the system wants. Because the moment you need that paycheck, you're controllable. You're predictable. You're trapped. Let's talk about why this trap is so effective. The system doesn't present itself as a trap. It presents itself as a ladder. Get an education, get a job, get a paycheck, get promoted, get a bigger paycheck. This is progress, right? But here's what actually happens. Every time you get that bigger paycheck, your life automatically expands to consume it.
You move from a $1,200 apartment to an $1,850 mortgage. You trade your $280 car payment for a $520 one. You add expenses that match your new income level. Economists have a term for this, lifestyle inflation, but I call it the dependency accelerator. Most people think lifestyle inflation is about buying stupid stuff you don't need, designer bags, fancy watches, bottle service at clubs, and sure, that happens, but the real trap is way more subtle. It's the normal, reasonable decisions that feel responsible in the moment. You make $65,000, so you get a reliable car instead of driving that 2009 Honda with 180,000 miles. Responsible, right? You make $85,000, so you move to a safer neighborhood with better schools for your kids. That's what good parents do, right? You make $105,000, so you finally get your own place instead of renting. Building equity. Smart financial move, right? Every single one of these decisions is rational. Every single one increases your paycheck dependency. Because now you don't just need a job, you need this job at this salary without interruption forever. But here's where it gets really interesting. The system knows something about human psychology that you probably don't consciously realize. We don't evaluate our financial situation by looking at our net worth or our runway. We evaluate it by comparing our current state to our past state. Trevor makes $92,000. His dad made $48,000 at his age, adjusted for inflation. So Trevor feels successful. He's progressed beyond his father. He's doing well. His brain registers this as winning, but his dad owned his house outright by age 45. His dad had 6 months of expenses in savings. His dad could quit his job and survive for a year. Trevor can't survive for 30 days. Progress in income, regression in actual security. And most people never notice because they're measuring the wrong thing. Now let me show you the exact mechanism that keeps you trapped. It's something I call the 72-hour window. Here's how it works. You get paid on Friday. By Sunday night, that money is already allocated. Rent's paid, car payments scheduled, credit card got the minimum, groceries are planned. Within 72 hours of receiving your paycheck, it's already spoken for. You never actually had that money. It just passed through your account on its way to someone else. But here's the psychological trick. Because you saw that $2,600 or $3,500 or $5,200 in your account, your brain registered it as abundance. You felt rich for a moment. You felt secure, even though you were never secure. You were just holding other people's money temporarily. This is why the person making $45,000 a year and the person making $180,000 a year often report identical levels of financial stress. A 2022 study from the American Psychological Association found that 65% of Americans cite money as a significant source of stress, regardless of income bracket. Because income doesn't determine your stress level, paycheck dependency does. Let me give you a concrete example. I know someone named Rachel who works in marketing, makes $78,000. She got a $12,000 raise last year. She was ecstatic. Finally, some breathing room, right? Within 6 months, these things happened. Her apartment complex raised her rent by $200 per month. Her car lease ended, and the new one was $140 more per month. Her health insurance premium went up, $85 per month. Her grocery bill increased because of inflation, about $120 more per month. Her gym raised rates. Her phone bill went up. Streaming services increased prices. Added up, $545 in new monthly expenses. Her raise gave her an extra $730 per month after taxes, so she netted $185 per month in actual improvement. That's $6.16 per day, the price of a coffee. A $12,000 raise resulted in coffee money, not because she was reckless, because the system automatically adjusts to consume your income increases. Rent inflation, subscription creep, service price increases, lifestyle adjustments. Your expenses are always chasing your income, and they're faster than you are. Now, here's the part that will blow your mind. The system isn't just designed to keep you paycheck dependent. It's designed to make you think that's normal, that everyone lives this way, that this is just how adult life works. You're told to have 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund. Great advice. But according to a 2024 bank rate survey, only 44% of Americans could cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. Not 3 to 6 months, $1,000.
That means 56% of the country is one car accident, one medical bill, one unexpected expense away from financial crisis. But here's what nobody talks about. Why is the emergency fund always the thing you'll build later? Why is it always next month, after this expense, once you get that raise, when things calm down? Because the paycheck trap has already consumed your capacity to save. You're not choosing to skip building an emergency fund. The structure of your financial life has already made that choice for you. And this is where most people mess up. They think the solution is to make more money, get promoted, switch jobs for a higher salary, negotiate a better offer. And sure, that can help, but if you don't fix the dependency structure, more income just means more dependency at a higher level. Let me show you what I mean. There's a concept in behavioral economics called the hedonic treadmill. You achieve something you wanted, you feel good briefly, then you adapt to it and it becomes your new normal. You need the next thing to feel that high again. The paycheck trap works the same way. You get a raise, you feel relief and excitement, you adjust your life to match that new income level, and now you need that higher paycheck just to maintain your new normal. You haven't gained freedom, you've gained a more expensive dependency. This is why CEOs making $400,000 a year can be just as trapped as someone making $40,000. If your life requires $380,000 to function, you have $20,000 of actual freedom. Same margin as someone making $40,000 who spends $38,000. The salary number is relevant. The gap between income and essential expenses is everything. And here's what changes everything. Most people don't realize they're trapped until they try to leave. You want to quit your job and start a business? Can't. Need the paycheck. Want to take a lower paying job that you'd actually enjoy? Can't. Need the paycheck. Want to take 6 months off to figure out what you really want to do with your life? Can't. Need the paycheck. The trap doesn't feel like a trap until you try to escape it. Then you realize you've built a prison out of normal, reasonable financial decisions, and the walls are very real. Now let's talk about what this actually costs you over time. Not just money, opportunity, freedom, the entire shape of your life. Think about this. Right now, in 2026, there are people in their 30s and 40s who have incredible business ideas, creative projects, solutions to real problems. They have the skills, the knowledge, the network, everything except one thing: the ability to survive without a paycheck for 6 months while they build something. So they don't. They stay. They keep showing up to jobs they've outgrown, working for people who don't value them, in companies that will replace them the moment it's profitable to do so, not because they lack courage or ambition, because they've structured their lives in a way that makes risk mathematically impossible. The paycheck trap doesn't just limit your income, it limits your entire trajectory. Every opportunity that requires short-term financial sacrifice becomes unavailable to you. Want to go back to school? Can't lose that paycheck. Want to relocate for a better opportunity? Can't handle the gap between jobs. Want to negotiate hard for what you're worth? Can't risk them rescinding the offer. You become negotiation proof. The company knows you need this job. You know you need this job, so you take what they offer. You accept the minimal raise. You tolerate the toxic culture. You swallow your frustration and show up Monday because rent is due on the 1st and your car payment is due on the 7th, and you don't have a choice. Now compare that to someone who has 12 months of expenses saved. Same job offer, same negotiation, completely different leverage. They can walk away. They can wait for a better offer. They can start their own thing if they want. The company knows this, so the company offers more. Same person, same skills, same market, different outcome. Why? Because one is trapped by paycheck dependency and the other has optionality, and optionality is power.
Here's what this looks like in 10 years. Person A has been trapped in the paycheck cycle their entire career. They've had jobs, made decent money, maybe even got promotions, but they've never built savings, never built assets, never built independence. At 45, they're still dependent on that direct deposit, still can't quit, still can't take risks, still stuck. Person B started with the same salary, but they attacked the dependency structure. They kept expenses low. They built 6 months of runway, then 12. They used that optionality to negotiate better, switch to higher paying roles, eventually start their own thing. At 45, they have options. They have freedom. They have actual security. Same starting point, completely different lives. The difference wasn't luck or talent. It was understanding the trap and refusing to step in it. So here's the real question. Not whether you're currently living paycheck to paycheck, but whether you're building towards independence or just building a more expensive dependency. Because here's the truth. The system doesn't want you independent. Independent people are unpredictable. They ask for more. They leave bad situations. They can't be controlled with benefits and salary bumps. The system wants you comfortable enough to stay, stressed enough to comply. But you get to decide. You can keep doing what most people do. Chase higher paychecks, expand your lifestyle to match, stay dependent, stay trapped. Or you can do something different. Attack the dependency structure, build runway, create optionality, become someone who doesn't need that next paycheck to survive. The paycheck trap is real. It's sophisticated, it's everywhere, but it's not mandatory. The people who escape it aren't smarter or luckier than you. They just saw the trap before they were completely caught in it. You're seeing it now. The question is what you do next. If you found this valuable and you want to understand how money actually works instead of how the system tells you it works, subscribe. New videos every day. Each one gets you closer to actual independence. Thanks for watching.